Some time ago I installed this workbench vise in my work table, and I discovered how useful it is in the shop. But in some projects, where I need, for example, to clamp a piece of board in vertical, we can see I cannot put it here. And if I put it in one side of the vise, when I make the cuts it won't be stable. And it will be the same if I put it in the other side. It will always wobble when I cut. In this video I will make a simple and cheap workbench vise that will allow to put these boards in the middle to clamp them, because I will put one screw to each side. The screws I will use are my cheap woodworking clamps. I will put one there, and I will put there another one, and they will clamp or release the wooden jaw, depending on what I need. This piece of wood is 8 cm wide, 3 cm thick and 38 cm long, and it is a piece of strip I found in my lumber rack. I will put the clamps at a distance of 4 cm from the ends, more or less there. Now I have to keep in mind that the clamp must go in this side of the leg, more or less there. Keeping that in mind, I transfer the marks I made in the piece of wood to the side apron. And to work more comfortable, I lay the table down on one side. Here is where I have to work. I move the marks to the edge and to the inside face of the apron. The clamps go there. I will use a piece of strip to each side and a piece of plywood to cover the clamp jaw, but this way I still can put them in place or remove them without any problem. If I cut this piece of strip in two, then each piece is as long as the apron width, and I have two more pieces if I cut this one in two too. I clamp this screw to the leg, and I put a piece of strip to each side. I put a piece of plywood on them, and I mark the shape I need to cut. I cut the piece of plywood, and I use it as a template to cut another one. I put all three pieces around the clamp jaw, and I drill 4 guide holes, making sure I don't drill the table leg. And now I finished drilling the guide holes to the other side. Like that I have the pieces to put around one clamp, and now I do the same with the pieces I have to put around the other clamp. I put the screws on the plywood piece, and I screw them until the tip protrudes the other side. I put the tip of the screws in the corresponding hole in the small strips, and I screw them until the tip protrudes the other side. And I do the same with the pieces I have to hold the other clamp. I put the clamps in the marks in the leg. Now I put the pieces around the clamp jaws, and I push them to pinpoint where to drill the guide holes, to screw them. I remove the pieces and I locate the marks. I remove the clamps and I drill the guide holes in the marks, making sure I don't drill to the other side of the apron. I put the pieces with the tip of the screws inside the guide holes, and I screw them to the side apron. The clamp jaw enters there easily, but I will put a square hook below the clamp metallic bars, to make sure the clamp will not fall when the workbench is in its position. I press it to make a mark, and I drill a guide hole. And I screw the square hook. Like that, the clamp won't fall. But it is very easy to put there the clamp and to move it away. And now I can put the table in position. And I can finish to install this homemade workbench vise. I put the wooden jaw there, more or less with the marks on the clamp bars. And I tighten both clamps against the wooden jaw, keeping it level with the tabletop. And I screw the piece of plywood to the wooden jaw. In my channel you can see how I installed that piece of plywood in my cheap clamps. And you can also see how I made a lot of woodworking projects. This homemade workbench vise is very easy to remove. And it is also very easy to install. And now I can use it to hold firmly all the work pieces I may need to cut. Thanks for watching. You can find all my woodworking videos in my channel in YouTube. And if you like my videos, thanks for subscribing to my channel.